In 1985, four men walked into a recording studio in Nashville. They weren't there to compete. They weren't chasing trends. They came simply to sing together as friends. Each was already a legend in his own right. Each had lived hard, loved deeply, and survived long enough to see their music become history. But when they stood side by side, their voices rising in harmony, something greater emerged. Not just a band, not just a supergroup, a brotherhood. They called themselves the Highwaymen, and the world would never forget them. The members, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, Kris Kristofferson, four very different men, four unmistakable voices, one shared spirit, and though they only recorded 3 albums together between 1985 and 1995, their legacy echoes through every outlaw, every rebel, every artist who dares to be real. Let's start with Willie and Waylon, because their friendship was the spark that lit the fire. They met in the early 1960s, two misfits in a Nashville system that demanded conformity. Willie was the songwriter with strange phrasing and jazz chords. Waylon the rocker with a cowboy hat and a defiant streak. They didn't fit, so they leaned on each other. For years, they pushed for creative control, the right to produce their own records, play with their own bands, dress how they wanted. The label called it rebellion. They called it freedom. Together, they became the face of the outlaw country movement, a revolution wrapped in denim, dust, and truth. They toured together, wrote songs together, and fought the music industry together. And when they laughed, it was deep, loud, and full of mutual respect. Waylon once said, "Willie's the only guy I know who's more stubborn than me and, somehow, still stays sweet." Now, let's talk about Johnny Cash. If Waylon was Willie's partner in rebellion, Johnny was his spiritual anchor. They met in the 1960s, both rising stars in Nashville. Cash, already known as the Man in Black, admired Willie's songwriting. He recorded Nightlife and ID, Have You Any Time, rare praise from a man who didn't cover just anyone. But their bond went deeper than music. Both struggled with their own demons. Both found peace in faith, not organized religion, but a personal connection to something greater. Both believed in second chances. When Willie hit rock bottom, facing IRS troubles, near bankruptcy, and health issues, Johnny was there, not with money, not with advice, just presence. He'd call, visit, and sit and talk about God, life, and the mystery of survival. Willie later said, "Johnny made me feel like I wasn't alone in the dark." And then there's Kris Kristofferson, poet, pilot, Rhodes Scholar, singer. Willie first heard Kris's song Me and Bobby McGee and said, "That's the best damn country song ever written." When they finally met, it was instant kinship. Two writers who saw the world in verses. Two men who valued honesty over fame. Kris didn't just admire Willie, he followed him. When Nashville rejected Willie's album Red-Headed Stranger, Kris urged him to keep going. When Willie launched Farm Aid, Kris was on stage the very first year and nearly every year after. Their friendship was quieter than the others, less public, more grounded in mutual admiration. But it was just as strong, and when the four of them finally came together as the Highwaymen, it felt inevitable, like fate had been waiting for that very moment. Their first album, released in 1985, opened with a haunting cover of Jimmy Webb's Highwayman. The song tells the story of a soul, reborn across lifetimes as a highwayman, a sailor, a dam builder, a spaceman. But fans heard something else in it. The lives these four men had lived, outlaws, travelers, survivors, legends. Each man took a verse, each sang with a quiet, knowing power. And when they harmonized on the chorus, it wasn't just music, it was testimony. The album went gold. The tour sold out. Critics called it the greatest country supergroup of all time. They followed up with *Highwaymen to * in 1990, featuring the defiant Silver Stallion and the reflective American Remains. By then, age and illness began to show. Waylon's health declined. Johnny battled diabetes and heart trouble. Kris and Willie kept performing, but the tours grew shorter. Still, whenever they could, they reunited. Their final album, *The Road Goes On Forever*, came out in 1995, a bittersweet farewell. Then, slowly, the road ended. Waylon Jennings passed away in 2002. Johnny Cash followed in 2003. At Cash's funeral, Willie didn't sing. He just stood with Kris, shoulder to shoulder, to survivors mourning their brothers. Years later, when asked about losing them, Willie said quietly, "You don't get over that. You just learn to carry it." Today, Kris Kristofferson has retired due to health reasons. Willie still tours, now often singing Highwayman songs alone. When he reaches the final chorus of Highwaymen, he'll pause. Then he says, "This next part used to be Waylon, Johnny, and Kris." And the crowd finishes the line in unison. For a moment, they're all back standing together, voices rising, riding that endless road. Because the Highwaymen were more than a band. They were proof that friendship can create art that outlives time. That for stubborn, broken, brilliant men bound by music and loyalty could change the world just by being themselves. And in a way, they're still out there, somewhere beyond the stars, beyond the records, beyond the years. Riding, singing, free. Tomorrow, we'll explore another unexpected chapter in Willie's life, his journey as an actor. From gritty roles to surprise cameos, and how Hollywood embraced the outlaw with a guitar and a grin. Thanks for watching Willie Nelson Daily. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next story. See you tomorrow.